Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're diving straight into the absolute psychological chessboard of workplace gossip. Look, we have all been there, right? The hushed whispering near the water cooler or that sudden, super awkward silence the second you walk into a break room. Let's be real, it is incredibly stressful. But today we're going to learn exactly how you can protect your reputation. And spoiler alert, it's not by shouting the loudest. It's by using pure integrity and meticulous documentation. We're going to walk through some very specific real-world workplace scenarios so you can see exactly how this plays out in action.
So think about this for a second. How do you actually win an argument without saying a single word? Sounds kind of impossible, doesn't it? When someone is angry or jealous and spreading rumors behind your back, human nature is basically screaming at us to fight back, to loudly defend ourselves. But your goal in the professional world is not to win some temporary shouting match. Your ultimate goal is to strategically let their toxic behavior speak entirely for itself, all while you quietly protect your long-term reputation. Let's look at exactly how this works.
All right, let's jump right into part one, the gossip trap.
To make this concrete, let's introduce two archetypes for our explainer. We've got Neha, who is a super dedicated professional, and Sneha, who, frankly, tends to be a bit of a jealous gossiper. Picture a classic clash in a call center chat process. Neha is crushing it, getting great appreciation from clients, while Sneha gets jealous and starts spreading a rumor that Neha only gets those high ratings because she copies Sneha's replies. Naturally, teammates start to wonder. Neha feels hurt, anxious, and worried about her reputation. Now, when hit with a rumor like this, human nature offers two paths. The totally wrong reaction is to jump into the team chat, call Sneha a liar, and just create a massive public spectacle. Why is that bad? Because suddenly, everyone is watching the drama instead of working, and the gossip actually just grows. The smart reaction, on the other hand, is to stay completely calm, quietly gather screenshots of your authentic work, and then inform your team leader privately with just the facts. A public fight only feeds the rumor mill, but your reputation, that grows through consistency.
And here is the real magic of this strategy. When you just don't give them that expected angry reaction, the gossiper's power completely evaporates. Most people expect you to get defensive. So, when Neha simply keeps delivering quality work and openly offers evidence to anyone who asks, Sneha totally loses her audience. People start looking at the whole situation differently. They start thinking, wait, if Neha were really guilty, why is she being so calm and transparent about everything? And just like that, the spotlight of suspicion shifts right off the victim and directly onto the gossiper.
Moving on to Section 2, Emotion versus Evidence.
Let's raise the stakes a bit and move this conflict over to a voice process call center. Here, Neha is consistently hitting exceptionally high customer satisfaction scores. Right on cue, Sneha steps in with another completely false claim, telling coworkers that Neha is actually manipulating callers to get those scores. This is heavy because it directly attacks Neha's professional ethics. It's devastating. It causes Neha severe emotional distress, to the point where she's brought to tears after her shift because she can see agents abruptly pulling back their trust in her. So, what is the right play here? Well, if Neha confronts Sneha publicly on the floor, making everyone intensely uncomfortable, management suddenly has two massive problems on their hands: a rumor and two employees causing a huge disruption. Instead, Neha takes the highly professional route. She politely asks her manager for feedback based strictly on her recorded calls, noting that she just wants to ensure her reputation remains intact. She provides undeniable evidence, proving once and for all that cold, hard facts defeat gossip infinitely better than anger ever could. And of course, the recordings back Neha up entirely. By inviting a review instead of attacking Sneha, Neha is wielding a really powerful tool: reverse psychology. In a workplace context, this is the strategic act of actually welcoming scrutiny. Think about it. When someone actively asks for an investigation into their own work, it instantly signals to everyone that they have absolutely nothing to hide. By doing this, Neha essentially forces Sneha to try and back up claims she simply cannot support. Sneha is left totally empty-handed, and Neha's credibility just skyrockets.
Which brings us nicely to Section 3, Inviting Total Transparency.
Let's take this strategy and apply it to an environment where trust is literally everything, like human resources. Let's say Neha works in HR, and Sneha starts secretly telling employees not to trust Neha with their confidential info. People get spooked and start avoiding her. This is a critical threat to an HR career. So here is Neha's bulletproof response. First off, she just continues maintaining total confidentiality. She absolutely never slips up or casually drops employee info just to try and win friends back. But most importantly, she doesn't get emotional about it. She goes straight to her HR manager and politely requests an official audit on her own policy compliance. She asks to be evaluated through documented, formal processes. And guess what? That audit comes back totally clean. When you proactively lean into transparency like that, especially in a high-stakes environment like HR, people absolutely take notice. It clicks for them immediately. Someone who is supposed to protect confidentiality would never be comfortable with an audit if they actually had something to hide. By welcoming it with open arms, Neha proves that professional integrity is built up over time, and it simply cannot be destroyed by one baseless rumor. The trust naturally finds its way back to her. All right, Section 4, Earning Leadership Daily.
As Neha continues to do well, she moves up the ladder, and naturally, the gossip targets her new success. She earns a very well-deserved promotion to team leader, but Sneha, who just refuses to accept Neha's merit, starts telling everyone that it was pure favoritism. She claims Neha only got promoted because she's close to management. Because of this, some employees actually start doubting the promotion, and the team begins questioning Neha's authority. Honestly, Neha understandably feels deeply disappointed by this.
So Neha has a choice here. She could choose defensive arguments, basically burning all her energy arguing with the doubters, desperately trying to convince them of her worth. But instead, she opts for quiet success. She avoids the arguments completely. She just puts her head down and focuses on her job, supporting her struggling employees and delivering consistent results. By choosing to actually help her team, their performance naturally starts to improve. And this proves such a profound lesson. Leadership is earned daily. The more Neha performs well, the weaker the gossip becomes, because her success quietly and undeniably answers every single accusation.
Next up is Section 5, Facts Defeat Assumptions.
Let's look at a true pressure cooker scenario where false blame could immediately derail a career. IT operations. Let's say a major server issue occurs. Without doing any investigation whatsoever, Sneha immediately points the finger at Neha, telling all their coworkers it was her mistake. Neha is terrified her career might take a massive hit, but she doesn't panic. Instead, she follows a super methodical 3-step incident response. Step 1, she gathers all the system logs, the tickets, and the exact timelines. Step 2, she calmly joins the incident review meeting. And Step 3, she just presents the exact sequence of events based entirely on the data. She shows everyone the system log that proves the issue actually stemmed from a completely different system.
Because Neha just presents the pure facts without ever stooping to point fingers back at Sneha, something pretty amazing happens in that meeting room. The realization slowly dawns on everyone sitting there. The loudest accusation wasn't the correct one. By staying perfectly neutral and letting the documentation do all the heavy lifting, Sneha's toxic habit of making assumptions becomes painfully obvious to every single person in the room. Documentation is literally always stronger than assumptions.
And that leads us right into our final part, Section 6, Consistent Integrity Wins.
We have watched Neha navigate a bunch of different departments with one beautifully unified strategy. So here is your exact playbook for surviving and actually thriving against backbiting. This is the core takeaway right here. Substitute your emotion with documentation. Don't ever react publicly in anger. Stay strictly professional. Always keep records and evidence of your good work. Let your output and your consistency be what builds your credibility. And finally, use formal channels to escalate properly if the gossip actually begins to impact your daily tasks.
I want to leave you with this final powerful thought for our explainer today. Gossip gets attention quickly, but consistent integrity earns lasting trust. The next time you find yourself facing a false accusation at work, you have to ask yourself, are you going to waste your precious energy fighting the loudest, most toxic voice in the room, or are you going to quietly, calmly document your way to an undeniable professional victory? The choice is entirely yours, and now you've got the blueprint to win.